And here we are. Welcome back. Here we go with our live Q&A, and we got a full house today. Thank you so much to everybody for taking time out of your busy schedule and being here with us today, learning about the power of LinkedIn. So we're going to hop right into your questions and get into the live Q&A. So make sure that on that chat panel down there at the bottom, you go ahead and just ask your questions, type your questions into the control panel down there at the bottom. I will get them here, and I will answer them for you. So we'll hop in right away. Our first question, and before I get into the first question, I should say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today. Special thank you to your mortgage partner for putting this whole event together for you to help you grow your business as a thank you, and a big thank you to First National Financial for putting us all together and putting this whole thing together. So with that, into the live Q&A. So our first question is from Susan. Susan asks, I joined LinkedIn a year ago and I did not get any referrals as of yet. So Susan, a large part, like we just said on the webinar, a large part of getting those referrals is that outbound communication to your network and to your database asking for referrals. So one strategy that would work really well for you is the recommendations. So of the people in your database that you're networking with, whether it's past clients or whether it's referral partners, make sure that you go out and you recommend them on their LinkedIn profile, and then you follow up with that little message and the template that I just gave you. That outbound engagement is normally enough to see some results that come back. But just having a profile and having it there isn't going to be enough to generate those responses from you. You've got to do a little bit of the outbound networking and engaging with those people, which is exactly why we go through that content, right? So thank you for the great question. Okay, so from Christine, we've got a person-to-person independent comfort stylist, which is pretty cool. To be honest, Christine, I don't know what that is. It sounds like a pretty cool business that you're in, but a little bit difficult for us on the fly to come up with specific strategies for you in your business. So I hope you don't mind, but we're going to pop on to the next question. So from Melanie, I'm an insurance and an investment advisor in Calgary. Melanie, thanks for taking the time to be on the call today. Really appreciate it. So in the insurance and the investment advisor category, there is some phenomenal opportunity for you on LinkedIn as far as the groups and the group strategy that we just discussed, going out and becoming the expert in Calgary in those groups, because there's local customers sitting there on those groups that want your professional opinion, that need that third-party advice. So go out, do that search on LinkedIn for groups, for people that are talking about retirement savings, for investment vehicles, for people that have questions about RSPs or anything that really responds or relates specifically to finances and getting help with saving money or investing their money, and just get into the communities. And like we said with the 5x5x5, go through, like a bunch of statuses inside those groups when you get in there, make a couple of nice comments on other people's posts, and then start sharing your stories of transformation. Answer people's questions, get involved in the community, and then start to promote as you answer people's questions. Hey, if you're looking for a personalized consultation on how I can help you in your finances, give me a call at, and then you put your number in there. Phenomenal way to tap into groups, and most insurance and investment people have no idea how to leverage this stuff in their business. So you're really far ahead of your competition just by being on the presentation, having the information, and now you just need to go out and do a little bit of implementation to see the results that come from it. So make sure you send a nice thank you to the mortgage professional that invited you to the event. So thank you for the question. On to the next. From Jen. Jen says, is there a place or time in which this will be replayed? I keep getting phone calls and I'm missing a little bit. Jen, absolutely. If you reach out to the mortgage professional that sent you this event, they will have a recording link from their First National representative. They will be able to send that over to you, and you will have access to that recording. And again, thanks for taking your time to be here. We know how busy you are. From DJ, let's talk, Chris. All right. Here we are talking. So from Karen asks, do you suggest connecting with past customers even if you don't know them professionally? So Karen, I don't necessarily recommend that you connect with everybody on your LinkedIn database. And the reason why I give that advice is because LinkedIn is a specialized network. There's specific people that hang out on LinkedIn, and when they're there, they have their business hat on, per se, right? It's the very professional side of those people and what it is that they do, and they're looking for personal connections and that sort of serious communication between people on LinkedIn. So if you have a client or customer that you've done business with that isn't necessarily of that mindset, or they're not a LinkedIn style person, it'll be weird for them to get a LinkedIn request from you, and you won't be able to engage them on the network anyway. So when you look at your database, look at the people that you know are in the professional services industry that would be interested in LinkedIn, and only connect with those people. And the other reason that I give that advice is when people creep your LinkedIn profile and they view your profile, one of the things that they look at is the other people that you're connected with, right? And there's an age-old saying out there, you become your 5 closest friends, right? And people can actually infer a little bit about you by the people that you're connected with on your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn also does this cool thing over on the right-hand side where whenever you're looking at somebody's profile, if you know somebody that's also connected to their profile, LinkedIn will show that communication. So when you're connecting with people on LinkedIn, it is a good strategy to be selective with who you connect with, because people will, I hate to use the word judge, but they will judge you on your profile based on who you're connected with. So you want to make sure that you've got good, solid, professional communication or connections on that profile. So hopefully that answers your question. From George or Jorge, either or, George. We'll go with George. All right. So George is asking, is this CanSpam compliant? And I'm assuming that we're talking about sending the message out using that template that I gave you. The answer to that question is you must have express consent from the person that you're going to be communicating with and sending that message to. So don't just blast everybody in your database. Make sure that you have express consent from those people before you reach out to them to connect with them. It's a great question, and you know, a little disclaimer here, I am by no means legal representation on the CanSpam Act or anything like that. Go out, get third-party advice on whether or not your marketing is compliant and what you can or can't do with that. But a great question nonetheless. So from Ben, how do I control the options that come up for my recommendations? So that is a great question. So the screenshot that I just showed you, where it says recommend Chris for, and mine says, you know, social marketing, online marketing, consulting, those are pulled up on the profile from your profile settings. So inside your profile settings on LinkedIn, they ask you what you're good at or what you specialize in. And when you start typing into that category, as you type, LinkedIn will pull up a menu bar of pre-selected things that you can be good at. And when you select those options, that's what they use to populate the recommendations box that shows up at the top of your profile. So it's actually done in your settings. So you go in to edit your profile, scroll down to where it says, off the top of my head and without looking at the computer screen, I'm not sure exactly what it says, but it'll say specializations or something along those lines. In there is where that information is populated from. Just save it after you've selected all the different options, and it will show up for you. Okay, and a great question. Thank you very much for that. From Brian. Brian says, I love LinkedIn. My deals are coming from insurance referrals. Glad to see more ways I can leverage my profile. Awesome. I'm glad that that was helpful. And again, this is one of those things where you can get into more groups and generate more referrals from those specific people when they leave recommendations for you, because the more insurance people that you can get to see your profile, you become known as the person that deals with those insurance professionals, and you can generate even more referrals from those recommendations and telling the stories of transformation, right? It all starts to come together at that point. Glad to hear that you're up and running and already getting results from LinkedIn. That's awesome. Darlene asked, where did you post the spreadsheet? So Darlene, that spreadsheet is posted on my LinkedIn profile, and we'll go through and refresh that and make sure that it's right at the top of my page so that you're able to easily find it. From Kim, where do I go to get a professional headshot? Great question. So there are lots of, you can head to a local photographer, find somebody on Kijiji. My personal preference is, we're all walking around with smartphones that have phenomenal cameras in them and that you can take a great headshot with. Get your spouse or somebody at the office or somebody that you're friendly with to take a shot for you. Now, something as simple as a nice whiteboard background gives you a nice white background, or what you can do is take a shot where you look nice, obviously pick a picture that you like, right? And then you can head over to Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr.com. And if you've got a photo of yourself that you like and it looks good, right, you can hire somebody that's phenomenal with Photoshop, and they can crop the background out and make it white behind you and make it look like a really nice professional screenshot. They can actually, take away some of the wrinkles and do all kinds of stuff. Costs $5, and you end up with a nice professional looking profile photo to put on your LinkedIn profile. So hopefully that helps you as well. From Victor, please post the script regarding the referrals. Victor, we don't have that posted online, but because of the fantastic relationship that you have with the mortgage professional that sent you to the event, I'm happy to post that on my LinkedIn because of our great relationship with your mortgage professional. So yes, I will take a screenshot of that slide and I will post that on my LinkedIn profile so that you have access to it. Hope you enjoy. And I would love it when you post it out, send me back a message and let me know how it worked for you. Let me know what type of results that you get from it. Nina is asking about the recording. Yes, check with the mortgage professional that sent you to the event. They will get you a copy of the recording. Same thing for Terry. Terry, if you're looking for the recordings, connect with your mortgage professional and they will send the link out to you. Okay, Susan, more of a comment. Many people like to buy homes, but most do not qualify. With the bear market happening in our marketplace, how do you get around this? Again, we're not going to be able to help everybody. And that goes back to the slide that we had where you're not going to get results from every piece of marketing that you put out there. You're not going to get results from everybody that you connect with. But what we're doing is we're leveraging LinkedIn to play the game of large numbers. So the more people that you connect with, the more groups that you're in, the more value that you give out to the marketplace, the more clients and customers that do qualify and can buy those homes will come through your pipeline. So it's important to, when you do have that happy, healthy customer that does qualify and does get into that marketplace, that you tell the story of how you've helped them and target people that are similar to that person with your marketing and with your advertising. From Glennis. Glennis says, this is the first webinar I found out about from you. Do you have recordings of the previous ones that I can view? Glennis, yes, absolutely. We are putting together a membership area that has the recordings of the first 4 events that we have done with your mortgage partner. It's awesome that they included you in this month's event. Really glad to have you here, and we will get a link out that gives you access to all of the previous recordings. And again, if you want to post on my LinkedIn profile, send me a comment, or post on my Facebook page to remind me, and we'll make sure that your mortgage professional gets the link to send you for the event. Now this one's a little bit long, and we're coming up on 2:47 here. So we'll make this the second to last question, and we'll get through this because I want to be mindful of your time. I know how busy you are, but hopefully you're finding this valuable based on the feedback we are. So let's get into our last couple of questions, and then we'll wrap up for this month's content. So if one has a couple of different businesses, real estate slash musician, etc., how should we govern our LinkedIn profile? I understand that we're not allowed to have multiple LinkedIn profiles. On one hand, having music and real estate combined in a profile shows the breadth of my life, but I don't want people to think I'm less committed to real estate because I listen to music as well. Phenomenal question. And don't we all struggle with that, right? A lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm an amateur beekeeper, right? New hobby that I've picked up. My wife actually supports me with it, which is pretty cool. But how do I not, post out all this information that I'm learning about bees when people think, he's a marketing consultant, he should be doing just that? And the answer that I've come to in my own business is that people do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. And at the end of the day, nobody works 24 hours a day. We're all people. The clients and customers that gravitate to you in your business, and the ones that really love you, and the ones that you want to do business with, again, are people that know about your personal life, that probably really enjoy the fact that you're musical and that that's what you do and that's what you're good at. So posting that information out, showing people that you're a real person and what you do behind the curtain in your real estate business is actually healthy. Now, LinkedIn, you've got to be careful with content distribution. So if 90% of your content is about music and 10% is about real estate, you're going to run into a little bit of a problem. Make it 75% real estate, 25% about music. Facebook, 50-50. You can do 50% music, 50% business, still engage with the audience because Facebook is a more social network. But when you're on LinkedIn, remember, these are professionals that are looking for professional information. It's almost like you have to put your business hat on before you step into LinkedIn and start networking. So not that you need to not have the musical information in there, but connect with people based on real estate and have the occasional post as to what you do in the music industry on your LinkedIn profile. Go crazy on Facebook. Enjoy. Hopefully that helps. And we'll wrap up with our last question. So this is from Dustin, and Dustin asks about express consent. And I'm assuming that that has to do with our getting permission to email people to invite them to your LinkedIn profile. And that's expressed consent with an ED on the end of it. A little bit of a lisp, which is difficult when we're doing the live presentations and the Q&A, but it's expressed consent. Somebody has to say, yes, I want to receive communication from you before you can email them out that request. Now, that wasn't really a full question, so I'll take just one more here. That also has to do with consent. Are we still able to send an in-mail to our contacts? Again, I'm not an expert on whether or not we are or allowed to send those messages through LinkedIn. You want to get third-party advice on that. My thoughts around that are that if somebody has connected with you on LinkedIn, they've connected with your profile, and you're already having that in-mail conversation with that person, absolutely, you can continue a conversation with somebody on LinkedIn using in-mail. There's no problems with that. So with that, we're at 2:51. We'll wrap up the Q&A. Those of you that still have questions coming in, don't worry. That isn't the end of the Q&A. I will respond back to you via email, and I will make sure that everybody gets answers to all of their questions. So until next month, keep an eye on your email from your mortgage professional inviting you to the next event. And I'd like to give a sincere thank you to your mortgage professional for inviting you to the event and really wanting to help you grow your business. Make sure that you have the next deal that comes across your desk, forward it over to that mortgage professional as a thank you for putting this event together. And a big thank you to First National Financial for helping to sponsor the whole thing and bringing us all together as a community and an industry. My name is Chris Johnstone. From me and my family here, much love to you and your family there, and I look forward to seeing you next month.